On a day like this, there's one place where you're sure to find a lot of Londoners. Come with me as we explore Hyde Park. Hyde Park, established in 1536 by Henry VIII, is the largest of London's 5 royal parks. The park was opened to the public in 1637 and has hosted everything from carnivals to protests to concerts to the Great Exhibition in 1851. Today, Hyde Park is a place of leisure and relaxation for locals and an attraction for visitors with several impressive monuments, lush gardens, and large-scale events. If you enter the park from the northeast, you'll be at Marble Arch, although it's being renovated at the time of this video. The monument was originally part of Buckingham Palace, but it was relocated here in 1851 so work could be done on the palace. If you cross the street to the Cumberland Gate entrance, you arrive at Speaker's Corner. Though the origin can be traced back to the final speech allowed by the condemned before execution at Tyburn Gallows, Speaker's Corner was officially designated as a spot for free public speech in 1872. Since then, everyone from reformists to suffragettes to war protesters have led historic rallies and demonstrations here. Free speech is allowed, but the popo are always near if things get out of hand. The northeast corner is also where you'll find the largest open area of the park, the parade ground. This is a spot in Hyde Park where some of the biggest shows in London have taken place. Queen, Bruce Springsteen, Live 8, where Pink Floyd got back together with Roger Waters and David Gilmour, and most notably the Stones in 1969, who played here just 2 days after Brian Jones died. It was a tribute concert, and they also debuted their new guitarist, Mick Taylor. This is also where the Hyde Park Winter Wonderland Carnival is held every year from November through January. As you go south towards the Hyde Park Corner entrance, you'll come to the Joy of Life fountain, the first of several gorgeous fountain sculptures. This wasn't on today, but we'll see some more fountains later. Walk a little further down the path, and you'll come across one of London's most solemn memorials. July the 7th, 2005 was one of the most awful days in the history of London. There was an attack in 3 train stations on a bus that left 56 people dead and over 750 injured. This is a memorial to that awful day. There were many heroes who saved a lot of people's lives that day. But if you visit Hyde Park, be sure to come pay your respect to the victims of the attack. As you continue to walk south, you'll approach Queen Elizabeth Gate at Hyde Park Corner. Then you'll come upon my favorite statue in Hyde Park, the statue of Achilles. King George III oversaw the installation of the statue in honor of Arthur Wellesley, the first Duke of Wellington. The statue was created from 33 tons of bronze from cannons captured in Wellington's campaigns in France. And the sculptor Williams Westmacott modeled Achilles' face after the Duke himself. While you're over there, stop for a picture at the beautifully ornate Queen Elizabeth Gate. If you enter the park from the southeast, you surely won't miss the massive Apsley Gate on Hyde Park Corner. The gate was built between 1826 and 1829. The sculptures are copied from the Elgin marbles. One of the easiest ways to get to Hyde Park is to jump into a cab, tell the driver to take you to number 1 London, and they'll take you right here to Apsley House. This grand mansion was the London home of the Duke of Wellington. It's now a museum with priceless collections of silver, porcelain, and paintings by Renaissance masters. The museum has preserved the look of the mansion, so little has changed since the Duke resided there, including his spectacular backyard of Hyde Park. Of course, one of the great attractions of Hyde Park is all the greenery, trees, and gardens. It makes for a beautiful respite from the concrete bustle of central London. Nothing exemplifies this more than the Rose Garden, with its winding paths, fragrant flowers, and beautiful fountains. I'm particularly fond of the Huntress Fountain. At the center of the park, you'll find the iconic Serpentine Lake. This is one of the most popular places in London for a morning run, or even a swim if the weather is good. On the east end of the lake, there's a relaxing cafe with great views and plenty of seating.
It's an absolutely lovely place to enjoy your lunch.
The northwest part of the lake is called the Long Water. Walk along the water to see the arch by famed sculptor Henry Moore. At this point, you'll have reached Kensington Gardens. This area is protected for wildlife. You can check out the plaque and see the animals you can spot. Head north up to the path and you'll see the Peter Pan statue on your left. This statue is very popular with kids, but I think it's really cool too. At the end of the Long Water, you'll come to the Italian Garden. I gotta be honest, I didn't even know about this place before filming, but I'm gonna come back here for sure. It's gorgeous. After you visit the Italian Garden, head up the diagonal path that leads to the Physical Energy statue. This impressive sculpture is aptly named as it really nicely conveys motion. It also points you directly to Queen Victoria's birthplace.
So this is the centerpiece of Hyde Park. This is Kensington Palace.
The palace was originally a two-story private mansion built in 1605. In 1689, monarchs William and Mary bought the property for £20,000. I'd say it's increased in value slightly since then. The front of the palace are the refurbished staterooms that the public can visit. The current residents are William and Kate, the Prince and Princess of Wales, but the most famous resident was, of course, Princess Diana. Her statue overlooks the private garden. We'll hear more about Diana in a few moments. But first, one of my highlights of the day. It's the only place that on any given night, Londoners can see Swan Lake, the Royal Philharmonic, or Led Zeppelin. In 1867, Queen Victoria laid the ceremonial foundation stone to the Royal Albert Hall, a memorial to her late husband, Prince Albert. 4 years later, London's most famous music and performing arts venue opened its doors. Enjoy the terracotta art that wraps around the venue called the Triumph of Arts and Sciences. Prince Albert overlooks this beautiful venue from his spot in Hyde Park. The Prince Albert Memorial is a Gothic-style monument that was completed in 1876. It soars 54 meters high and costs £10 million in today's money. The most impressive part of the statue is the gilded figure of Prince Albert seated in the center. Albert was painted black for a while, but in 2013, a restoration restored the statue to its original glory. As you make your way back to the center of the park, you'll pass the Serpentine Gallery. Make sure to stop in. It's free, and it has some really interesting modern art. Even though I've showed you sights from all over the park, you need to make a few visits to properly see it all. But one stop you really need to make is the Diana Memorial Fountain. The memorial was opened in 2004. It's made of 545 pieces of granite that are meticulously cut and fitted. The water flows in both directions from the highest point and meets at the bottom in a calm pool. There are 3 bridges to the center representing Diana's openness, accessibility, and heart. It's a perfect memorial in a park that will always be associated with Diana. Just down the Serpentine path is the Lido Cafe. The Terrace Bar is a great place to enjoy a bite and a cocktail and take in the scenery of this amazing park.
Well, it started nice and sunny today, but it is London, so this is how it ended. But this was a great time at Hyde Park. There was so much to see. I hope you guys get a chance to come out here. Tell me what you like about Hyde Park. And if you got something out of this video, please like, subscribe, share, and please comment. It really turbocharges the algorithm. I appreciate you all. Cheers. This is the spot in Hyde Park where some Live 8 played here, and that was the site where this is a spot in Hyde Park where some of the biggest shows in London were taken. And it was the site of Pink Floyd's reunion with Roger Waters and David Gilmour. And most famously, and there it goes,